Joining us now live via Skype from Durban, South Africa, is Peter Laubscher, Executive Director of the Leprosy Mission in Southern Africa. Mr. Laubscher, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be joining you.
So how concerned should we be with what's happening in Malawi? What is your reaction to this?
I wouldn't be too concerned. Obviously, we would like leprosy numbers to drop to the point where they reach zero. But I think a number of factors are at play here. First of all, we've seen an increase in the detection rate of 13% from the year 2014 to the year 2015 in Malawi. Now, that is a significant increase, but as one of the people pointed out in the interview, which is just being broadcast, many of those folk could have had leprosy or have developed leprosy a long time ago, and it's only now that they have been diagnosed with the disease. So the fact that there has been a 13% increase in the number of people detected or diagnosed during the period doesn't necessarily mean that there's been a 13% increase in the number of people contracting leprosy. It just means that some people have come forward for diagnosis who may previously have been hit from diagnosis. And as we heard during the interview, one of the problems with leprosy is the stigma surrounding it.
Yes.
And that's a huge problem in many countries. And for that reason, people may not come forward for diagnosis when the early signs appear.
But Mr. Laubscher, some people you speak with are even surprised that this ancient disease is still around. So what is the issue? What are some of the issues that are making this still not being eradicated, given that tremendously it has been curbed?
Well, as one of the people in your interview pointed out, leprosy has a very long incubation period. So it's possible to be infected today by the leprosy bacillus, but only to develop outward signs of the disease 10 years from now, or even 15 years from now. So that does make the management of the disease quite problematic in that you've got to keep eyes on contacts of known leprosy patients for a very long time before you can be certain that leprosy has died out in a certain area. Leprosy, unfortunately, also goes in partnership with issues like poverty. So where one finds poverty, malnutrition, and so on, one finds leprosy as well. And of course, it's in those conditions that often health services are not as good and strong as they could be, and that makes bringing treatment or getting treatment to people that much more difficult.
And speaking of treatment, is it being offered free of charge, given that poverty is definitely a factor there?
Absolutely. Leprosy treatment has been made available free of charge for many, many years. The World Health Organization, in partnership with the Novartis Foundation in Switzerland, makes available the multi-drug therapy which we use to treat leprosy, and has done so for a very long time. So those of us running leprosy programs, we have to place an order each year with WHO. We let them know how many new patients have been diagnosed, and they supply treatment accordingly. So leprosy programs all around the world have access to free treatment.
How long is the treatment course? And tell us quickly what the situation is in South Africa.
Leprosy treatment lasts for about 2 years, although there are some patients who may need treatment for a little bit longer than that to be absolutely sure that they've been cured of the disease. South Africa, as in keeping with many other countries in Southern Africa, has seen a steady decline in the number of new people developing leprosy every year. And we now diagnose about 80 new patients a year. And some of those folk are not South Africans, they're patients who come to us from abroad. So the number of internal leprosy patients in South Africa has dropped to about 50. And that, of course, is a very low number. We're delighted with it. One of the issues, though, to bear in mind is that leprosy is a chronic illness. And people that had leprosy many years ago and who've been cured of the active disease, unfortunately still suffer from the effects of the disease, particularly loss of sensation in their hands, feet, and eyes. And this means that they're very vulnerable to developing disabilities. And that, for us in the Leprosy Mission, is a big issue.
Okay, Mr. Laubscher, we have to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And that was Peter Laubscher, Executive Director of the Leprosy Mission in Southern Africa. And that's our Africa Health Report for today.